Alright, after a couple months of growing, my garden has gotten larger, of course. I have finally been getting some flowers on a majority of these plants. I'm going to make a rundown once again on what I have. I've thrown on a couple more plants in here, and they've all been doing very, very well, except for a couple, but that's due to nature's frost at the beginning of the season that killed them off. So I'll run through them all again. Over here I got some cherry tomatoes here and here. These guys here they've just been huge. They got hit by the frost the hardest, yet they've come back and have taken over. I'm getting some buds here and there. This guy over here though, he's got tomatoes already growing on him. You can kind of tell right there. They're just popping out. And then I've got my strawberry plant. There's a couple strawberries on there. They're not doing too hot, only because of the fact the birds keep getting at them. But they haven't stopped making. They're still getting flowers. They're still getting strawberries. I just gotta find a way of keeping the birds off them. And then I've got my green beans here, all along the bottom and on the top. And I've got green beans down here as well. These guys have been doing great. As you can tell, this is my first crop right here. There's a lot more to come. There are a lot of small ones on there. They're still getting ready to grow. And then over here we got my squash. They're starting to get all viney and starting to cling to things. I think next year I might just plant a couple instead of as many as I have now. I'm worried they're gonna probably choke themselves out, but we'll have to see. I'm gonna have them hang over the edge and probably touch the ground or something like that along this side. Here are my pumpkins. Basically they are just about to get some flowers going. They're getting viney as well. I'm gonna push them towards the fence over here. Oops. Push them towards the fence over here and keep them away from the rest of the plants. I don't want any crazy freaks of nature from all the flowers that are going around here. All the way over here, got my hanging watermelons and my other watermelon plants. They're huge. I've got a flower or two on these guys. You can't see them from here, but if you look, let's see, can kind of tell behind there, behind that stem, there's one. I'm hoping these guys get a little more. But yeah, they've been growing huge as of late. The ones in the ground are getting a little bigger than the ones in the buckets, but I would just have assumed so just because of the amount of dirt. Over here, these guys are new. These are yellow peppers. Or, I'm sorry, no, these are jalapenos. These are jalapeno peppers. This guy here, this guy here. They're doing decent. I planted them part way through, and they're getting some buds. They're about to flower here pretty soon. Another new addition, which you can't really tell because this guy's in the way. I'm gonna have to replant them, but I've got some cauliflower. I just got 4 of them. They're doing decent. Until that guy, I'm gonna have to move those 2 over there. I've got my green and red onions. They've finally caught on. It took a while, but they're here and they're doing great. If we pan back a little bit, right here we got my asparagus bean, also known as the yard-long bean. These guys have been all viney from the beginning, but they are just massive. They just keep growing new vines, and they're just hanging there, and they're doing great. I haven't seen any flowers or buds or anything yet, but we'll have to see later in the season. Up here, just some regular green peppers. The ones on the bottom didn't make it, only because of the frost. So maybe next year I'll have to double check the weather and make sure I don't plant them too early. New additions as well in the ground right here. Can't really tell from there, but I got some Roma Tomatoes. They're just chilling on the ground, doing their thing. They're kind of early as well. They're later in the season, so I'm not sure if they're going to be getting any tomatoes anytime soon, but we'll have to see. As we move along, got another cherry tomato plant. This guy I planted at the beginning. He's getting flowers finally. A little spindly, but other than that, he's holding out pretty well. Down here are my cantaloupe. They're getting all viney just like the rest of these other plants here, and they're doing very well. Not as big as I thought. There's a couple flowers here and there. Let's see. There's one. There's a couple more here and there, but we'll have to see how those guys work. Well, if we move around over to the other side, here's 1 and 2. These both are cantaloupe as well. They're doing decent. They're not doing too bad. They've not as big as the ones on the ground, of course, but we'll have to see how they turn out later on. And then 2 other new additions is another cherry tomato there, another cherry tomato there. And that is my update on my hanging garden. Hope you keep watching out for my newer videos for what happens later on in the season. Bunch of plans for next year though. Most definitely. Thanks for watching.